Matic to Roma. Here we go. I'm turning into Fabrizio Romano. It is Fabrizio Romano himself and another Italian Sky Sports journalist to confirm this. In fact, starting off this live stream, let me read Fabrizio Romano's statement about this deal. Now, Nemanja, whatever his name is, Nemanja Matic is set to join Roma on a free transfer. Deal set to be completed after his official decision to leave Manchester United. Matic will be AS Roma's second signing after Milis Villar. If you remember, the young goalkeeper, both are joining as free agents. Nemanja Matic will sign a contract until June 2023 with AS Roma with an option for further season. Jose Mourinho wanted him after Chelsea and Manchester United experiences. AS Roma will let Mkhitaryan leave on a free. He's joining Inter and that is also a done deal. If you haven't already, smash the subscribe button and the like button as well if you're also buzzing for Nemanja Matic as one of our second actually players to buy, who we bought this summer after the young goalkeeper under the name of Villar. Now, Matic this is, by the way, another confirmation that anyone who says Mourinho to PSG is a fake news, because if Mourinho now leaves and goes to PSG, then why the hell did we buy Nemanja Matic, who the only reason why he's a Roma player is because of Mourinho, if you see what I mean. Mourinho really wanted him. He's a player which he kind of brought in every team he had. He had him at Chelsea. He had him at Man United. He's now going to have him at Roma. He's a player which Mourinho absolutely loves, adores. He's a player which Mourinho has followed. And this is yet another confirmation for anyone who believes that Mourinho is going to PSG, that it is not happening. That is fake news. PSG are going for the Nice manager, the manager who managed the Nice this season. So when it comes to Matic, we're going to talk about Matic today. What he brings to the team, obviously, kind of advantages, disadvantages. The big disadvantage, obviously, is his age. Now, I can see it, however. You know, we need experience. We've discussed this so many times, and I'm going to discuss it again in this live stream. The only negative, which I think it's not a big negative, but it is obviously not a positive, is his age. Obviously, Matic won't be a starter in this team. We are set to buy another defensive midfielder, a more aggressive midfielder. We've been linked with Ruben Neves from Wolverhampton. We've been linked with Bissouma from Brighton, and we've been also linked with Douglas Luiz from Aston Villa. I think any of these three players would be phenomenal in as a defensive midfielder, so they will definitely start. The thing which I'm trying to say is, don't expect Roma buying only Matic in the midfielder section. We will need to buy other players. Matic, I think, is one of those deals, is one of those squad depth deals, and is one of the experienced deals. Now, why do I say this? We, as many other teams, are in the start of a new cycle. I've said this many times. We're starting a new cycle. We're evolving in a new cycle, right? We're starting a lot of young players. We're discovering a lot of young players. However, out of all of these young players, which are Pellegrini, Zaniolo, Zalewski, Abraham up top, we've discovered players such as Felix, Darboe, Bove. We've got a team which is primarily a young team. However, we will need experienced players in some gaps to kind of lead this team, especially in European tournaments, and especially to try and get top 4, which will be our main objective next season. Experience is something which is fundamental in any team, and this is why this deal is a positive deal, because Matic brings a lot of experience. Let's not forget that Matic, in a way, we could not have asked for a more experienced player, obviously within our limits, within our budget limits. Matic is someone who knows the Europa League really well, won the Europa League with Jose Mourinho, and as I said before, I am not here to expect Matic starting next season, 100% not. Matic won't start next season. Matic is there to lead the changing room, even if he's not the captain, to lead the experience as an individual, and to change the mentality and to give a mentality switch to many of these players which are young or unexperienced, don't have, and will feel pressure when it comes to when it comes to playing in the Europa League, they will feel the pressure. And Matic is there to lead this, to be the leader when it comes to this. And Matic, I think this season at Manchester United played extremely well. I'm not saying Matic is not good, but I think Matic won't start. That's the way I see it. I think this hit is one of those deals where we bought him to add experience and to improve the squad depth. I myself can't see Matic start the next season. Now, this doesn't mean that he's not good. Matic is a really good player. In fact, this season, arguably, he has been the best player, the best midfielder in the Manchester United squad. But I don't think he will start in this team. Now, don't get me wrong. Mourinho has got a lot of ideas. We could see Matic start. We could see Matic become a starter in this team instead of, for example, Cristante. I can definitely see that happen. But obviously, Matic is 34 years old. We can't expect Matic to play every single match. And I think this, I'm going to say it again for the new people who just joined, is one of those transfer news, which is a big transfer news to improve the squad depth, 100%. Because one of the big problems, which we've had this season is that our squad depth has been so bad that players which were getting subbed in didn't have the experience. Our only experience laid in the starting 11. We had no experience whatsoever in our bench. That is the big reason why we lost 6-1 against Bodo Glimt. Because the players who started that match did not have European football experience. This is, I think, a transfer hit which kind of counterattacks that. And I think we will see a lot more of these deals. And then obviously we will see big hits as well. We will see a big midfielder coming. That is, I think, that's why we need a leader who isn't the captain, who leads the mentality, the experience of the other group. So yeah, I think overall, and plus adding on to this, he's a free agent. 2 players out of 2 we bought are free agents. What does this mean? This means that in these last couple of weeks, the Fredkins, Mourinho and Thiago Pinto have really worked to find players which can improve the team and not spend money. I mean, yeah, only spend money for their wages and not spend money to pay their club. This is a really good financial approach, because if 2 players out of 2 we didn't spend money on, and if we can get more players like this, if we can get 2 more players like this, investigating really well, doing a lot of research, and I'm going to say it, if we get 2/3 more players on this dimension as free agents, I think that leaves a lot of space and a lot of money for big hits, for big deals. And I think the fact that this is a free agent is massive news. We should be very proud that this is a free agent, because I'm going to say it again, I think if we manage to research a few players that we can get 2, not more, 2 players that can come as free agents, meaning that we don't need to pay their clubs of origin, I think it would be massive when it comes to our budget, when it comes to the transfer market as well. And this is where I think, in fact, this is probably one of the best things when it comes to this deal. So that is definitely it. So yeah, that's my impression. Let me see what people think. I'm happy with this new signing, but I hope that this does not mean that we will sell Veretout/Cristante. We need also another midfielder, in my opinion, who has vision and who creates goal chances. I think Cristante will stay. I think Cristante will will become a big part. We've criticised Cristante a lot, but I was saying this yesterday when I was live streaming Italy against Germany. We've been criticising Cristante a lot when it comes to his pace. And I'm going to say one thing. If we didn't have Cristante in the defensive midfielder, we would not have gotten these good results this season. Cristante is a player which we've been downfalling a lot. We've been criticising a lot, but at the end of the day, I think he's a fundamental player for this team. And I think if we can keep Cristante, sell Veretout to get some money, if we have Matic, Cristante, a few young players, such as Darboe and Bove, sell Diawara, and if we get a good centre mid, which is our biggest objective over the course of this transfer market. We've been linked with Bissouma from Brighton, Ruben Neves from Wolverhampton, and Douglas Luiz from Aston Villa. I think all three are valid options, which are really, really good. I think if we have Cristante, Matic, youngies like Bove and Darboe, and a big one like Douglas Luiz, Bissouma, Ruben Neves, I think our midfielder would be perfect. And if to the midfielder then we can add another free agent, which we wouldn't spend money on, I think that is immediate improvement to our squad depth. Because I think Mourinho has acknowledged over the course of this entire season that the squad depth has been the biggest problem. And he is a player which he really wanted and he really knows well. Let's not forget this. We've got also an advantage when it comes to the manager-player kind of factor. Mourinho and Matic know each other really, really, really well. Mourinho knows how he plays. Matic knows what Mourinho wants. That is why I think it wouldn't take much time for him to kind of integrate in this team. Obviously, he will need to, communicate with other players, improve the communication with players which he hasn't seen before in his life. But when it comes to the manager-player bond, he doesn't need Mourinho training sessions because he already knows him so well. He already knows what he wants. And if he can spend July, August knowing the players really well, improving the communication with his new teammates, then I think Matic is already ready to start when the Serie starts. As I said before, I don't think he will be a starter in this team. There will be 100%. There will be matches where he will start. Yes, 100%. But overall, I think the big player which we will buy in the transfer market and another player will start. But that does not mean that Matic won't start, because there will be plenty of matches where Matic will start this season over Cristante, and yeah, especially in the Europa League. Europa League, I think, is where Matic will really reign, because of the experience in those tournaments. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, please smash the like button. If you're new here, and if you haven't already smashed the like button, it doesn't take anything. It's free. You don't need to pay for it. Down below, takes 2 seconds and it supports me a lot. So if you could please smash the like button, it would be amazing. And also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and if you're a Matic lover and you came here for that. Jose was never leaving Roma. I have not seen Jose this happy since his prime days with Porto and Inter, says Michael Cabral. Hey, what transfers are confirmed until now? Confirmed Matic and Svilor, which we'll talk more about in the next couple of days. He was their first signing, actually. The young goalkeeper came from Benfica and will be Rui Patricio's substitution. Simon, remember how we crumbled to Juventus? Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. I think this is... I said this before. I think this could not have been a better deal when it comes to the experience he brings. Because it's the statistics would show it. The big problem this season has been the squad depth and the lack of experience. Immediately, this brings a massive boost to the experience, to the overall team. He's fantastic, says Bipra. Prakash, a buy to be judged only after other ones. It's important that I'm not gonna say your name, Tricky Dick. I said it. But I think that is a really good statement. I think this is a buy to be judged only after the other ones. That's spot on that. Spot on that. Because if we now buy Matic and kind of don't buy anyone else who has got the good dimensions in this team, then I think this will be a massive failure transfer market. If we buy a player like Ruben Neves, Bissouma or Douglas Luiz and other players, and then you put Matic in, I think overall it's a really good transfer market. But I really like that. I really like that statement. Matic will be in this starting 11 for sure, man. It's the sort of players we badly needed. Yes, but I think he won't start every match, 100%. I mean, I think it's too early to say this. I think we'll definitely need to see who we buy. But I think obviously he will start matches, but I think, obviously he doesn't have that fitness to play every single match. That's a statement. So, but right now, yes. But I think it also depends on the players we buy. You guys should go for Lingard as well. He was phenomenal under Jose, and Lingard loves Jose. We talked about Lingard a few days ago, yeah. We're slowly becoming a second United. Hopefully one that wins something. Perfect signings, says Eduardo. Lingard was such a baller when he went to West Ham. If we got that Lingard, then looks out. United is value to this area. Look at Young, Mkhitaryan, Evra, Dallo. So yeah, I think let's see if we have any other. Yeah, I think Fabrizio Romano is confirming also that this is something which this is a player which Mourinho has been wanting. He liked to emphasize that this is all Mourinho, and I think myself that if Mourinho wouldn't be our manager, we wouldn't have gotten Matic. That's definitely a reason for this. I think this is a player which Mourinho has said to Thiago Pinto, buy me Matic. Like, Mourinho has threatened Thiago Pinto to buy him Matic, because otherwise, you see, if Mourinho wouldn't have been manager, then I would never have seen Matic joining Roma. Could you please describe him as a player for us? How do we describe him? He's a player who likes playing with the ball. He's got good range of passes. Is also a player who collects balls back, so can also act as a defensive midfielder. And yeah, he's a creative midfielder and a defensive midfielder at the same time, I'd say. Is Matic an aggressive player? Says Vegas Benz. I mean, he's not Kante, obviously, right? But there are limits. I think he's obviously there to. He plays in that position where it's a perfect balance between serving the attackers and helping the defenders getting the balls back. So obviously he's not Kante, but he does. Yeah, he's not prime Nainggolan, but he is an aggressive player. Depends, I think. But yeah, I foresee Roma knocking Manchester United out of the Europa League. Matic and Lingard, Matic and if Lingard stands for Roma will down at United. Right, just to end this stream, other players which are genuinely been linked with, we've been linked with, in the midfielder, we've been linked with Bissouma, Ruben Neves and Douglas Luiz, which I think any of the three would be amazing. I'd put Neves first, Bissouma second, and Douglas Luiz third. But I think any of the three would be amazing. As defenders, Senesi from Feyenoord, and as attackers, who was there when yesterday in the live watch along Italy against Germany when Gnonto crossed it in for Pellegrini? I said tomorrow we will see him linked with Roma, and Gnonto is now linked with Roma. He is now got the attention of many Italian clubs, but Roma have gathered information about him. I think he's one of those young players which would be an absolute bargain, and we will talk about him furthermore, especially if we get more updates about him. And then we've also been linked with Isco, and we've also been linked with Mario Götze, who plays for PSV Eindhoven, but is basically one step away from joining Benfica. By the way, I thought Götze was like 40 years old. He's only 30 years old. Götze is pretty young, to be honest. So, So yeah, I thought he was way more old than that. But yeah, he is apparently going to Benfica. So yeah, if Jose trusts him, we should also play him many years for Jose Mourinho. Start supporting Roma because of Jose Mourinho. But now, to be honest, after I saw the fans, etc., I kind of love the club more than any other clubs Jose Mourinho managed. That is it. And one of my biggest objectives when I started this channel, one of my biggest kind of motivations was to bring that passion to international fans who might not be aware of it. And that is exactly it. And I'm very glad that many people are kind of slowly turning into Roma fans. Matic and Jose can't stay apart for long. Indeed, they're back together. So yes, Villar and Matic are confirmed players who will sign for Roma as our first two players. Both free agents. Very well done to the Fredkids and Thiago Pinto here when it comes to the financial side of the transfer market. Simon, what about a left winger this season? Left winger, as I said before, we've now, as basically every club in this area after yesterday's match against Germany, we were interested in this Gnonto guy, who obviously I think won't be a starter if he comes. He's extremely young, but I would buy him for £7 million. I think it's yeah. So when it comes to left wingers, there haven't been much link-ups. The real link-ups which have come are kind of for the gaps which we lost players. The real link-ups right now have been with players who can substitute Mkhitaryan, and therefore Isco has been linked with Roma. And as I said before, the three midfielders, the really big physical midfielder, because all of them three are very physical. Douglas Luiz, Ruben Neves, and Bissouma from Brighton. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, smash the subscribe button. Let's try and get 5,000 subscribers as fast as possible. If you want to know the schedule of these summer months, so June, July, and August, I posted a 7-minute video a few hours ago, so go back and watch that. It will take 2 seconds and it will give you, sort of an idea of what to expect this summer and the summer plans and some big announcements as well. So go and watch that if you haven't already. Smash the like button and follow me on Instagram over at salmon_ASR_ in the orange box down below. Gedesh, there you go, Gedesh, yes, I forgot about Gedesh. And Solbakken as well. A player that you would love to see at Roma. I'm going to give you two, a non-realistic one and a realistic one. Kante as unrealistic because I absolutely love him. And realistic, I'd probably go with either Bissouma, Ruben Neves, or yeah, I think Ruben Neves or Bissouma would be amazing if we can manage to buy them. It would be amazing. But yeah, hope we can get Ola Solbakken for free. Also, middle feel like 5 million, maybe Dybala or Isco. Also, then spend more money on big names. Yeah, Thiago Pinto's having another meeting with the Glimt representatives later on this week, so we'll definitely get updates on that. Simon, it reminds me of when we bought Seydou Keita for depth. That worked out, so Nemanja. 1 year deal limits on a free limit the risk. Yeah, it's also one year deal, so it's not too bad even if he flops. But yeah, Nemanja Matic to Roma. Here we go. I should buy a bell, and every time we buy a player, we should dong it. So yeah, Nemanja Matic as well as Villar earlier this season. Young goalkeeper who will be Rui Patricio's substitution, already to join for Roma. Transfer market is getting to its juicy part. So if you haven't already, subscribe, like the live stream, and follow me on Instagram over at salmon_ASR_. And as I said before, go and watch the summer plan video, 7-minute video, to give you an idea of the content to expect and the schedule to expect in this area. This summer on this channel. Ruben Neves would be mind blowing, wouldn't it? That would make a decisive difference